Alright, people, so I'm here with a live Periscope video here talking about how WWE has too much content, too much shows, too many hours of watching wrestling per week. I mean, it's getting ridiculous now. Ever since like Raw 1000 in 2012, what was that, like 4 years ago? Over 4 years ago, they've just started adding more and more and more shows or hours to shows or pay-per-views or like SmackDown. Nobody really watched that show, but now since they put the WWE champion on that show, like, I feel inclined to watch that shit. So I feel like I have to watch that show now to get kind of a full, understanding of the show and the feuds and the storylines. I mean, how can you not watch the show with the WWE champion on it? So you got that 5 hours there. You have NXT, which I watched the pay-per-view, so that's, it adds up in the end. And now they're adding SmackDown pay-per-views and Raw pay-per-views separate now. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, this is getting ridiculous. So I guess we got twice the pay-per-views now. I've been saying this for a while now. I mean, in like 5 or 10 years, watching wrestling is going to be like a 9-to-5 job. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. I mean, I'm getting tired. I keep falling behind on the shows because, I don't get home on Tuesdays until about 10:30 because I have late night classes. So then I got to go back and watch SmackDown, and you never have the energy to do it. Like once you skip a show, you miss a show for whatever reason, it's hard to gain the energy to go back and watch it again. I don't know. I'm just exhausted. And when you have classes and you have work and you have all this other shit going on, it's like, once you get home, you want to sit back and relax. Watching wrestling's not, it's almost like watching wrestling is a job because it's so shitty. I mean, it's not a fun experience. I can tell you that right now. Most of the time, it's just sitting there watching pointless, poorly thrown together matches by a shitty creative team. And the thing is, stop watching. I mean, people tell me that all the time. I always have to explain the reasons why I don't stop watching, and that's because there still are good moments. Example, Kevin Owens winning the belt. See, if I would have stopped watching, oh, fuck this company, I'm going to stop watching, all right. I would have missed that, and I would have, been mad that I missed that. So that was a great moment that I'm glad I witnessed. I'm glad I, was watching. I'm glad I was part of the WWE universe, at the time that happened. And I also watch because I like this aspect. I like talking about it with other people. I love ranting on it. After watching a 3-hour show, there's no better thing to do than go on YouTube and rant about it. And there's a decent amount of people who usually tune in to my Raw reviews. Usually get on some of my videos 100, 200 views on, Raw reviews, pay-per-view reviews, sometimes a couple, 100, a few hundred. So, I mean, that's always cool to, talk about it with other people, the social media aspect, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, etc. That's why I still watch it. And I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. Somebody says it's so much more confusing to watch since the brand split. I wouldn't say confusing. I would say more, it's just more tedious, more tiring. It's almost like twice the content now you gotta watch since the brand split. I mean, I don't really know what you exactly mean by confusing. I mean, this company's done, you could call it confusing shit, illogical shit that doesn't make any sense, but, via the creative team booking, which has been, like I said, illogical. They've been doing that for quite a while now. I mean, I guess the brand split is, I guess you could say, it is confusing. It is I think a bad business move. Maybe in the short, they always do things, I think, for the short term. Maybe in the short term it's going to go well because they're going to get more people watching SmackDown. But I think in the long term it's going to be bad for them because they're going to have more upset fans. Just like I think the 3rd hour of Raw in the short term, well, people are going to tune in and, for the 3rd hour, see what it's like. But then in the long term, as we've seen, the ratings have gone down. Same thing with the PG era. With the PG era, I think, like I said, short term, you're still going to have those TV 14 people stick around to watch it and, see what it's like in the short term. And you're going to have probably some younger audience, members come along because it is PG. But in the long term, you're going to have those, more hardcore, more IWC people go away from the product. I don't even know if I would be watching right now if I didn't have a YouTube channel. I see people message me all the time. I'm done watching. I'm not going to watch this anymore. So there's a ton of people not watching it. And also with the PG era thing, if you have a fan base that's in their 20s or are more like teenagers, and you're branding your audience for, you're branding your product for a more mature audience, that audience is going to stick around for the rest of their lives. They're going to watch that product until they grow old and die, probably, if it's a good shit. I mean, WWE's been along a long time. It's not going anywhere soon because it's a top wrestling company with zero competition whatsoever. You got TNA on channel like 9,856. I mean, it's on like a fucking Destination America or whatever. I don't even know what the fuck channel it's on now. So WWE's going to be here for a while. But the point is, if you have a show geared towards children, once they get into high school and into college, you're not going to watch anymore since it's geared towards children. But if you have a show that's geared towards people who are more mature, like in high school, if it's TV 14, like I said, they're going to stick around for a longer time throughout their lives. That's just common sense. You're going to have lifelong fans instead of fans for maybe 5 or 10 years. And as we see now, the PG era, the way they're doing shit is starting to fail. It's starting to go downhill. I mean, the ratings are taking a shit. You got fans upset with the company. I mean, they the stock is still pretty, it's still going up a little bit. But I mean, they can't, stay with this level forever. It's eventually going to catch up with them. The fans being upset, and everything. They can't stay like this forever. They can't keep making money while fans are upset. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to, it's not. I've never seen a company that can get away with this. So they're so lucky that they pretty much have a monopoly on the world of professional wrestling. Because if they had any sort of competition, WWE would probably be in this shit. If any sort of competition comes around, they're fucked because their company is in such disarray. It's such a clusterfuck. They have so many things wrong with it, just common things that don't make any fucking sense. They do shit that just makes no sense whatsoever, and it's just a slap in the face to the fans' intelligence. So I mean, there's just way too much content on this show, too much to watch. I'm getting so fucking exhausted. It's basically double what it was before the brand split now with all the new pay-per-views. SmackDown. It's just so fucking much, and I'm so exhausted watching it every week. But that's all I gotta say, people. There's a live Periscope about that, about the increasing content on this show because it's ridiculous. It's just too fucking much. So there you go, people.